So is veneer real wood? Can it be stained? Can I finish it? Can I pre-finish it? Can I sand veneer? Of course you can. Veneer is just a piece of wood. It's a very thin piece of wood, and of course we at Oakwood add backers to it, but yes, you can sand veneer. Now, traditionally a lot of people, especially beginners, I recommend using a sanding block and a medium or high grit sandpaper. The higher the number the grit is, the smaller the pieces of sand, so the less material to remove as you're sanding, but it also makes it smoother. Now, for those of you that are a little more seasoned, I even use a random orbital sander. Yep, I'm using a power sander right on the veneer. Now, again, I'm using, in this case, this is 180 grit. You want to stay with a high grit, and as long as you keep the sander flat and don't tip it on its edge, there is no concern about sanding through the veneer. The veneer is actually thicker than you think, and there's no problem with sanding the veneer. Remember, veneer is just regular natural wood. It just happens to be a very thin board. So, of course you can sand veneer. However, don't forget, here at Oakwood, we pre-sand the veneers before they get to you anyway. You can always sand it to a higher grit, but it's ready to go right out of the box. Can we finish wood veneer? The answer, of course, is yes. So if you wanted to use a penetrating stain or a clear finish, even something like epoxy that can go over top of this, there is no problem. Always be sure to follow the manufacturer's recommended application and thickness. 2-part polyurethanes are very commonly used on veneer in the professional industry. However, you do have to be careful if you are using a 2-part post-catalyzed type of finish. If it is brittle, it can crack. Now that's not true just with veneer, it's true with boards as well. So always follow your manufacturer's recommendations, but any finish that you would use on natural wood, you also can use on our wood veneer. Can veneer be pre-finished? The answer is yes. However, you must use a type of finish that will remain flexible. So if I'm using a household stain or anything that you would get primarily just from a can as ready mixed, you should not have a problem. But if you use something that is a 2-part catalyzed finish, oftentimes it will be too brittle, and we don't recommend pre-finishing it in that case. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on all our socials. If you have questions, feel free to call us or visit us at oakwoodveneer.com.